every so often during these calls, I like to make sure that I bring it to your attention that this exists. This is our website, the REDCap website. Oops. Oh, better log out here. There we are. So, our REDCap website, all kinds of information on here. But what I wanted to point out was these version changes, and make sure that you're aware of, should you want to know what's new in REDCap from a out-of-the-box standpoint. This is not about external modules, totally different. But if you're looking for information about what the recent changes were about, we try to indicate if it's an improvement. So, for example, in the rich text editor, which was reasonably new addition to REDCap, they've now added copy and paste options that weren't there before. And so you can scroll through these, kind of just get an idea of if there's an improvement or a change. New features are flagged so that you know what kind of new things are actually part of REDCap now. So I just want to make sure you're all aware that this is here, and I'd recommend checking it out every so often so you know if there's been something, new functionality that's been added to REDCap, and you're just not aware of it. Okay, so, and as always, our external modules page is kept up regularly, so we're constantly adding to this. Again, I call through the list of available external modules every week or two, see if there's anything new that's out there, and then I add them for your use. Okay, so let me get rid of this. So today I'm going to demonstrate to you survey authentication. So I'll slide this in here. I created a project. Okay, survey authentication, I just created survey. Okay, single survey. This is straight from class. Basically, the information that's on this, nothing special. So the survey authentication module would be something that you could use if you wanted to narrow the people that can look at or enter data into a survey, and allow only users who are part of REDCap. So as compared to when you post a survey link, anybody can add data to it. If you wanted to have a survey link, but only people that have REDCap authentication can enter data into it, you can use the survey authentication module. So to set that up, you're going to request the survey authentication module, which we will apply to your project. You'll let us know. You can use the request form if you like. Looks like this, and you could simply ask for us to enable an external module. I think you've all seen this. This is posted on the website. It's on the website, but it's also on REDCap. So I'll just step back a minute into the home page. You need an account, you can use this account request form, and you could use that to request an external module. All right, so I'm back here. I've enabled this external module, and now it's a matter of configuring it. So we'll come into the configure. This is so easy. You can make it as complex as you want, but these are the configuration options. So the first thing that you're going to need is an API token. So let me walk you through what you need to do for the API token. So the first thing you need to make sure is that you or the persons that would use this, you only need one, an administrator of some kind, needs to make sure that they have API import update permission. Okay. Once you know that they have that, you come to the API link over here on the left. You can see where my cursor is. Come into API, and you're going to want to generate the API token. I'm just going to create it right now as an administrator, and you want to make sure that you have this import update permission. You don't need the mobile app, which pops up by default usually. You only need that import update permission. So then you're going to create that authentication token. Once you do, you should see this number. For those of you who have seen API tokens, this is what it looks like. So I need this token. I'm going to just copy this, right? And I'm going to go back to my external module, and I want to configure this. And here is where the API token goes. So I'm just going to plug that in there. The rest is customizable, and as far as, and there's a good documentation form that shows all the little components of this if you want to change, but it also nicely shows what the defaults are going to look like if you don't make a change. So if you do want to make a change, you just make them here and those tweaks are made. As far as logging, I wouldn't worry about that. I'd start here with the API token, and then just, for me, I think it's easiest if you just go all the way down here. And what you want to do is use the table method of authentication. So this basically just restricts users within REDCap of putting in their username and password. So you'd have to have that. Other individuals who may have the link would not be able to enter any information into this unless they have a password, or they have an account with us. So I'm going to save that. The second thing that you need to do is somewhere in your form you need to add a action tag. And the action tag is sort of custom. You're not going to see it in the list of action tags here, but it's going to be @survey-auth. This is in the documentation, just so you know. I'll slide this over just a minute so you can kind of see what I'm looking at. This is what the documentation looks like. So anything you want to know, you should be able to find there, and I'll save this. All right, and and I do want to stress that the action tag should only go on one field. Not if you put it on two fields, I've tested this, the external module will not work. So all you need is one field. And then if I come to my survey distribution tools and open my public survey, I get something that looks like this, which requires that if I put in my name and a password, I can't submit anything. And if I do, it will let me know that access is denied because I put the wrong password in, but put in a password here and submit. It will authenticate me, and then you can see your survey. So this is only for surveys, and again, allows you to restrict who can get at your survey. You can restrict it to REDCap users. So that's survey authentication. If you want to know more about it, then I recommend the documentation for the module there. And that's it for the survey authentication module. Questions? Don't see any questions. Okay, I'm just going to say a couple things then that have been going on this week, and then we'll go ahead and shut down early. I've had 3 projects this week that have had some branching logic issues. They're strange. I'm not really sure what the issue is. I'm trying to narrow it down, but if you do find, once you've designed a new project, if you have some branching logic issues, let me know, because it may be part of a larger issue. One project, we've had a problem with the defaults not showing, and it seems that part of the issue is there may be some conflicts with putting a bunch of external modules together. This was a project that was running a number of external modules. So just be aware that it's possible that the more external modules you have, there may be some conflicts. This is the first I've ever come across anything like this, and I'm telling this group because you are heavy users and you push the envelope, and I'm very interested to know when you see problems pop up. And I think that's all I've got at the moment. So do and read export CSV in columns or cases in a row. Where did that checkbox feature go? Exports in columns, is that coming out of the, Michael, is that coming out of the online information that I displayed there on a new?
No, that's separate actually. That's yeah, that's for export specifically.
Oh, I know what you're asking me. Whoops.
Yeah, it's for data exports reports.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. So this was in here? No, you're not talking about in here, are you?
I believe it was located there before, and I don't see it anymore. So as you said,
I think that, let me just check here a second. There was the, so here was data import, records in rows and records in columns. Is that, but you're talking about how your data was exported. Is that right?
okay,
Am I right? So,
okay. So that isn't available for exports then. Yeah, I had that confusing. Okay, I see.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Sweet. All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, we're going to have a short session today then with manual Auth. So thanks all for logging in, and check back again next week and have more to show you. And thanks for joining us.